everybody. I wanted to come to you today and give you a quick video on how to navigate through Blackboard and then also how to navigate through ALEKS. So I'm going to go into Blackboard, and you can see I'm on the announcements page, and your pages are going to look maybe a little bit different because I'm the instructor and you're the student, but you can see I've got here our Start Here activities that you should be working on this week. And remember, the required activities are the ones that I need to report attendance. So getting logged into ALEKS and taking that initial knowledge check by Sunday night, and then also getting that academic integrity policy, reading through it and sending me the paragraph. And also, a lot of you have joined Remind. Please join Remind. It makes it much easier to communicate back and forth if you have questions, so please do that. I also provided you with the financial aid code. That's this code right here when you're logging into ALEKS. If you don't have your packet, which we've had a snafu at the bookstore, so this will give you access for 14 days into ALEKS. So you will need this code when you are logging into ALEKS. So I just want to go through some of these buttons. Under course information, you can see that you can find out information about myself. There I am. I've even got a video. I do not know how that awful still shot. My daughter tells me I can change that, but it looks awful, but I promise I'm not looking that way in the video the whole time. The course syllabus, you can click on there and see the full course syllabus. And then that's the college syllabus. Some other buttons that are really important. Student resources, you can click on that and you can see where to go for tutoring, some tips and tricks, student services, career services, minimal technical requirements, all these things that you need for this course, and just give you some tips for things that you need. The other big one is the calendar. I've got the calendar loaded in here. You can either print it off from this PDF or you can print it off here by just clicking on the print button. And it has all of your due dates on there. So when I've got chapter 1 due, you can see it's going to be due on, oops, sorry about that. It's going to be due on Sunday night. So you will, Sunday night the 2nd, not this Sunday night. This Sunday night I need the knowledge check done, but that's the 2nd, so that will be your first major chapter due date. And then I've got in here, the dates for when we are going to have the midterm in October and things like that. So that's what you're going to get from your calendar. So it's an important button to look at and to probably print that off for your, if you're keeping a notebook or if you're keeping all your materials together. Now, course content. Under course information, you'll see course content. And again, yours might look a little different at the top because I don't know that you see those buttons at the top, but your chapters are in here. And I've got all the chapters set up the same. So, for instance, in chapter 1, you've got the learning objectives on the top if you want to read through what our learning objectives for this chapter are, and then the ALEKS topics that go along with those learning objectives, those are in there. Under videos, that's an important button. I've got videos for each of these sections. So the way I think that you should set it up is you should go into Blackboard. You should maybe look at ALEKS at the topics that you're going to need to be looking at, and we'll go through that in just a second of how to tell what you're going to be doing. And then watch a couple of videos. Watch a couple of these and then go back and work on homework in ALEKS. Then when you hit a topic that you haven't really looked at a video yet on, then come back and watch another video. They're not that long. I think maybe the longest maybe 20 minutes. It just depended on how much material had to be in one video. But I have those in here. They're me talking, going along with the workbook pages. Write those things down. Write down some notes so that when you get into ALEKS, you have some notes to look back on. So that's under course content. Then I've also under course content got class notes. I've got an on-ground class this semester for 098, and so as I take notes and keep notes in that class, I'll load them into here as well, so you can see just PDF copies of notes that I've done in an actual on-ground classroom. These sample tests or PDF sample tests, they're the ones that like an on-ground class gets. Remember, you're the only 098 online class right now because we're trying it out to see how it goes. I will have sample tests loaded for you into ALEKS, so you will be doing those sample tests on the computer. But if you want to look at these and kind of see the kind of questions you're going to see on a test, you can most certainly do that. I just wanted to provide those to you. So again, under course content, you can get all of your chapter information. We're not really doing much with discussions other than this initial discussion on your introductions. So please make sure that you are in there and making some introductions. You don't see a grades button because I keep all of your grades in ALEKS, so that button should be hidden from you. Calhoun email, that's how you can email your instructor. Again, I don't know if you see the buttons to email students in the course or select users, but I know you have the one to email your instructor. So just let me know through email if you have a question, or you can text me through Remind. The orientation video, I really want y'all to watch. So that's why I put a button over there for it. So watch that orientation video. I explained some things in ALEKS in there as well. I'm going to show you some things today. But that's a good indicator of being able to navigate a little bit better. Then ALEKS assignments, that's how you'll click on there and you'll be able to go into your ALEKS course and work on homework, and then your chapter tests will be in there as well. All right, so let me go into ALEKS now. And once you have done your knowledge check, then you get a pie. Your pie is not going to look like this. I just said that I had moderate knowledge and it filled a pie for me. So your pie may have 10 topics. It may have 3 topics after you do your initial knowledge check. But the pie is how your homework is set. So the initial knowledge check is creating this pie and coloring in anything that you got right on that initial knowledge check. Do not be discouraged if you didn't get very much, if any, correct, because that's how a knowledge check is. It just wants to know, hey, what do you know coming in? The different sections of the pie, the different slices, correlate to a chapter pretty much. So we'll be working through pretty much clockwise through this pie through the semester, and at the end you want a nice pretty dark pie because that's your homework. All right, so there are some other things that you can find. This is your home page on ALEKS, your Continue My Path page. Once you start homework, it'll say Continue My Path. So you can see here I am. I'm working on Chapter 1. I've got 53 of 62 topics, and I know that it's due on September 2nd. So that gives you some information over here. When it gets close to a test, you'll see a test show up over here, and you can click into your test that way, but then I'm going to show you another way to click into your test. So let's say we're going to work on homework. You would click on Continue My Path, and that's going to take us into, first of all, an explain page. An explain page is just like seeing an example out of the book. And so this is how it would look in a book. And you can read through the explain page. Some people find the explain page is helpful, sometimes not. When you're ready to start an actual homework problem, we'll click on Start. But there's something I want you to do before we do that. I want you to go up here to this down arrow, and I want you to click on it. And this is called your topic wheel. When you have your topic wheel, you can, if this is a problem that you didn't want to work, you can come up here and choose another problem if you would like to, as long as it's not locked. See how this one is locked? I wouldn't be able to get into this one because I need to complete these that are ahead of it first before I can get to this one. So topics will unlock as you work through ALEKS. Now, the reason I wanted you to go into here is, one, to see the topic wheel, but also to click on filters. So when you're in ALEKS, I want you to click on filters, and then I want you to click on pie slice, and then I want you to click out anywhere on the box to get out of it. What that does is it aligns your topic wheel in order so that you can see the arrows, you can scroll around, so that it starts you where you need to be with the closest due date. It kind of keeps it more in order of what you're going to see things in the workbook. Now, if we're ready to start, we would go into a homework problem. You can see that up at the top, that tells you, these little bars up here tell you how many you've gotten right. You can use the explain button if you want to go back to the explain page. And then when we're ready to start a problem, we would just type in an answer. Now, you've got some buttons over here on the right side. This is a calculator button. If it's grayed out, then that means that you don't really need a calculator for this problem. This is a video button. If you wanted to watch an ALEKS video, they're usually short, maybe 2 minutes. If you wanted to look at the actual book, the textbook page that relates to this problem, you could see another example from the book. You've got a dictionary. If you don't understand any of the words, you can look them up in the dictionary. And then you have a message center. This is to send an email to me. If you click on that, then you will get a little page, and it's going to go see it's going to me, and you would put in here, help me, or whatever you want to put in the subject, and then you would say, I keep getting these wrong, my signs are messed up, or I don't understand why I'm getting it wrong, and you would send it to me, and then I'll get it in my ALEKS email, and then I will respond to you. Now those come to my ALEKS email, and when I respond to you, it will go into your email in ALEKS. So you'll have to log into ALEKS to actually see the full response. You may get a notice in your regular email that says, hey, you've got an ALEKS email, but you can't respond back and forth until you log into ALEKS. All right, so let's say I'm going to do 14 more than twice Janelle's savings, and it says to use the variable J for Janelle. So 14 more than will be 14 plus, and then twice Janelle's savings. Twice means I'm going to multiply by 2, and I'm using the variable J. So that would be the answer for that one. I'm going to check it, see if I got it right, and I did. So did you see that little ticker go across there at the top? I got one right. If you get 3 in a row right in ALEKS, then it's going to give you credit for the other 2. So you don't always have to work problems 5 times in a row. You just have to work them 3 times in a row correctly, or twice. If you miss one, then maybe work it once more, and it'll give you credit for those. That's how you're building your homework. And you're not going to just do this problem once. You're going to do it multiple times, because we found that working problems multiple times helps them stick so that you remember what you're doing, and that's why we use ALEKS. So that's how homework works. This is your homework. This is how you're building your percentage for your homework grade. All right, so some things I want to show you. Did you see I clicked on these 3 bars up here in the top left? That's taking me to a menu over here. Home page takes me right back to where I started on my Continue My Path. Okay, I'm going to click on the 3 lines again. Here's some things you need to know in here. Really learn and review and assignments. Learn and review we don't use that much. But assignments, if I click on assignments, this is where your tests will be housed, and I don't have them in here yet. That will be populated when it gets closer to time for you to test. But that's where the tests that you take are going to be located. And then remember, the chapter test you're going to be able to do at home, and the midterm and the final you will come in and take that at the testing center. All right, so that's what assignments. Don't really need worksheets, because ALEKS really gives you enough work that you don't need to create your own worksheet. But if you want to, you can create a worksheet. That will be problems from the whole course, kind of like that knowledge check. So keep that in mind. The calendar, that's not my calendar. That's an ALEKS calendar. So remember, my calendar's in Blackboard. All right, grade book is where else you need to go. So the grade book, you can see I've got my grading policy that you can get. Here I am 85% towards Chapter 1. Remember, Chapter 1 is due on September the 2nd. And so I've got 85% towards there. So if you're ever in doubt of how far you've got or how close you are to your 100% in homework, always go to your grade book and check it. It will be here. Notice up here in the top right that overall ALEKS grade is 0. That's because the grade for Chapter 1 has not locked in yet. When that grade locks in, then this overall ALEKS grade will change. So overall ALEKS grade does not change until grades are locked in on their due dates. All right, so that's gradebook. You can also, there's Message Center, that's email as well. Instructor resources, if I put in any extra worksheets or things like that, they would go in there. You can actually see and order a PDF copy of your textbook if you wanted to, and then there's another way to access the dictionary. So back to my home page, again, Continue My Path. You are working in homework to fill this pie in. So right now, you should be working in bright yellow, because that's arithmetic readiness, and this kind of gold yellow, which is real numbers and algebraic expressions. That is Chapter 1. So arithmetic readiness is kind of things that you should know coming into the course, may or may not know. But those are some basic things you're going to have to work to get into the real numbers and algebraic expressions. So remember to go watch those videos in Blackboard, then come into ALEKS, work a little bit, watch videos. If you work a little bit every day, you're going to stay on track and you're going to be just fine, and we're going to have a wonderful semester. Y'all have a great day, and I will see you soon.